So MrBeast has recently received a bunch of allegations that apparently he's faking videos, he's a racist, apparently he even hates women, which if you know anything about MrBeast, sounds completely out of pocket for someone like him. But pretty much all these allegations came from this one YouTuber who participated in one of MrBeast's videos like 2 years ago. It was a hide and seek charity match where the first place winner got like $200,000 to donate to the charity of their choice. So obviously a pretty wholesome thing. So a couple days ago, this YouTuber that participated in it named Rosanna Pansino, honestly I've never heard about this YouTuber before, but apparently was calling out MrBeast for his edit of the hide and seek video where it sounds like she actually placed third place in the hide and seek charity event, and it sounds like MrBeast editors edited out part of her clips to make it look like she actually did worse in the event or something. Now I don't know about you guys, but if I'm participating in a charity match, I feel like that's the worst time to be, selfish and care about, you being included in the video and whether or not you make it into the final edit. Like, if you really cared about charity, I don't really think you care about who wins. Like, as long as the money goes to, deserving charities, that's the important part, right? Honestly, it's not that big of a deal, but it looks like she was making a major deal about it. And MrBeast was nice enough to reach out and try to sort those situations. But instead, Rosanna decided to leak the DMs, which is absolutely insane. She said, if he can say it to me on the phone, he can say it in writing. When I asked him to send over the raw footage to review the timeline, he went radio silent. MrBeast keeps pressing me to get on the phone and refused to answer any of my questions in writing. Which, to start off, of course he doesn't want to go back and forth on text. I mean, obviously, someone as busy as MrBeast would prefer to, just do a quick phone call and try to get it sorted. I mean, I get what she's saying, like MrBeast is trying to not get it in writing, but why would MrBeast immediately think that you're going to leak his DMs? Like that's obviously really unprofessional, especially for someone that's, reached out to collaborate with you. I got 1.4 million views, by the way, which is actually crazy. And then MrBeast reached out and said, what's your phone number? I'd love to call and see if we can figure out what happened. Which is honestly a pretty reasonable thing to say. I mean, obviously it was like 2 years ago. He doesn't exactly remember what happened in a video he made 2 years ago, so he wants to just call her and reach out, see what happened, see if they can get it settled. And then she sends this, hey Jimmy, my intention of speaking up is not to be malice or create drama, which is absolutely false, as you'll see later. She completely did this to create drama. Only 18% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Don't be part of the 81%. Subscribe to the channel, you have nothing to lose. And we'll get back to this later in the video because there's obvious proof that she actually did do this as like a clout chase or just to create drama. It wasn't about, all this fairness and we want more women representation in MrBeast videos, which is actually what she was claiming. Like, she was claiming she got edited out of the final hide and seek video because she was a woman, with, if you know anything about MrBeast videos, it's absolutely insane. Honestly, it was probably just because she was boring. I mean, let's be completely honest here. I mean, if you know anything about MrBeast videos, they're like completely optimized for retention. They're trying to get people to watch the entire video, and so if she wasn't entertaining or stimulating enough, obviously they edited her out, whether you agree with that or not. That's just how it is. She continued on by saying, I was really hurt by the editing decisions you made, editing me out of the top 3 and making me look like I performed worse than I did. Felt awful. Quackity was also edited out of the top 3. He also talked about, stayed silent for so long and it is causing me mental anguish. Over placing third place in a hide and seek match, it's causing you mental anguish. I mean, come on, lady. Like, let's be serious for a moment, okay? That's absolutely crazy if she actually means that. It's for placing third place in a charity match. Like, it's not about you. At first I did kind of understand what she was saying. She wasted like an entire 24 hours there, and to be edited out of the video after placing third place, I can kind of see why she'd be upset. Especially if it was meant to prop up, one of these douchebags like Logan Paul. I completely understand why that might make her upset, but the entire, hide and seek match event wasn't about her. It was about raising money for a charity event. At first, I was, pretty neutral on this whole situation. Like, I could see how MrBeast could edit it out, if she was boring or something. And I could also see why she would be upset. But the more and more she continues to talk about the situation, honestly, I'm like completely on team MrBeast on this situation. It's absolutely embarrassing what she's trying to paint the picture. Like, she's framing it as though MrBeast just doesn't like women and edited her out because she was a woman. It's her being like a professional victim. There's obviously no evidence of that, and there's complete proof, pretty equal for who he lets into his contestants. It's like pretty split most of the time, 50% men, 50% women, that kind of thing. And so if you were to call out anyone for not including enough women in it, this was not the person to go after. It's not mentally healthy for me to have someone make me look worse than I am to millions of people. Like, I've seen that video. In no way did this edit make her look worse than she actually was. Like, yes, it sounds like they edited out part of her clips, her placing in third place, and so I guess that makes her look worse. But honestly, I think most people just didn't even know she existed. Like, I'm sure it wasn't personal, the edit. Honestly, it's just for retention. That's how MrBeast edits his videos. And he said, obviously I wasn't trying to make you look bad, just give me a time we can chat. I'm not mad or anything, just want to help. I completely believe him. It's a pretty fair and reasonable response. He didn't actually have to reach out. And to this completely reasonable response, she said, why did you lie? Why did you say in the video that you found Logan Paul literally 1 minute before Zach? I outlasted Logan and was proud of what I accomplished. It actually built some confidence in myself that wasn't there before. Which, I think let's just start off by saying, if the confidence that wasn't in there for this YouTube lady was built up from a hide-and-seek charity match, I think there's a lot more deeper problems towards this woman than whatever MrBeast did to her. Let's just be completely honest here. And honestly, I think what happened was that the editors for MrBeast probably just edited her out because she was boring. Let's be completely honest here. And MrBeast says, I don't know, been a while, let's call and figure it out. And now people were obviously saying that this was like a cold message or something, but he's still being very open and saying, let's call and figure it out. He's still trying to resolve this whole situation, and people are saying it's cold because he doesn't know why he got edited out. Now keep in mind, this video was 2 years ago. Now, do you remember the specifics of anything you did 2 years ago? Like, if it wasn't life-changing or super memorable, like, do you remember the specifics of an entire day 2 years ago? Because I'm pretty sure you probably don't, and I know I don't. So if we don't remember, why the hell would MrBeast remember? If anything, he probably remembered the edit less because he's been making YouTube videos for like the past 2 years, constantly working on projects. How the hell is he supposed to remember? She said, I'll give you some time to look into it and remember that we can discuss. I'll be more than happy to review all the raw footage to help show the timeline of events. Feel free to send it over to my team, let me know, which is honestly a crazy thing to ask for. Keep in mind, this was a hide-and-seek video that lasted like 24 hours in a stadium, so bare minimum, there's 24 hours of footage from one camera, and of course, this was a major production. There was like 100 hide-and-seek people, so there were multiple cameramen. There's probably like 100 hours of footage, and she's just casually asking for MrBeast to go back, find it, and send it over to her team. And of course, MrBeast ghosted her after this, and I don't blame him at all. I think this is just a completely ridiculous claim and ask. And then she posted, the amount of DMs I'm receiving from people with similar stories, please know that you are not alone and you are seen and your experiences are valid. Like, she's actually tweeting this out like it's a Me Too moment. Like, it's actually embarrassing. And this is when it all starts to really fall apart for her story, especially when she said she wasn't trying to create drama and trying to get attention. She was literally clout chasing because just the other day, she posted that she was releasing a new music video. Yes, you heard that right. She creates a ton of drama and gets millions of eyes on her that she's never had before. I've never heard about this woman before until this silly drama, and then the days after she gets all this attention, she posts a music video. And so obviously this was a complete clout chase. Like, I don't think she actually had really any problem with this entire situation. It's honestly really embarrassing. And then on top of that, since people were actually starting to give her backlash because of course what she was saying was absolute bullshit, she said, I would like to apologize to MrBeast. I should have expressed my feelings privately and handled things directly. I will be removing all my posts where I talk about the Creator Games and Jimmy. I will be honest in that the thousands of death threats I've received today are a contributing factor, but I also do sincerely hear the feedback from you, many of you. And of course, you know, that's the strategy. She gets all this attention, she gets millions of views on impression, a bunch of people know her for the first time, she releases a music video, you know, to try to capture some of that attention. Of course, people hate on her because that's a fucking gross thing to do, especially to MrBeast, one of the most genuine guys on YouTube. Just to play the sympathy card like, oh yeah, she's getting death threats and we should all feel bad for her, as if she wasn't trying to publicly call out MrBeast for doing these terrible things. Like, don't get me wrong, I do not condone like death threats, and honestly, I'm not exactly sure that she received as many as she's probably talking about. She's probably just using that as a sympathy draw to, you know, make people feel bad about her so she can, you know, completely delete all this controversy and drama and act like it never happened. But that's just my thoughts on this situation. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The other day we made a video about how the YouTuber SS Snipewolf has finally decided to leave the internet. This is a video you're not going to want to miss. Click here to watch it now.